All right. I think we're live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another week of Classic Country A to Z. Tonight we will we'll start with a few of Rosanne Cash's hits that I thought we were going to get onto last week, but never quite made it. And then we'll do a complete 180, and we'll cover a Roy Acuff hit. We'll go back about 50 years to a whole different sound and world, and then we'll finish up with a couple other Roys, Roy Drusky, Roy Clark, I guess in the opposite order, before we finish up tonight. So, Rosanne Cash was, of course, Johnny Cash's oldest daughter. Rosanne had 11 number one hits, 21 top 40 singles, and 2 gold records. More recently, she was the 2014 recipient of the Smithsonian Magazine's American Ingenuity Award in the Performing Arts category. And in 2015, she won 3 Grammy Awards for Best Americana Album, Best American Roots Song, and Best American Roots Performance. She's also honored in 2015 when she was included in the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. So, although Rosanne had previously charted 3 singles, her first number one hit, really her breakthrough song and her most successful, commercially successful song of her entire career, came in 1981, and that will be our first Rosanne Cash song tonight. This is one that she wrote. It also reached the top 20 on the pop charts, number 6 on the adult contemporary charts, and was the title track to her second album. So, that album would also go on to produce 2 more number one hits. This one is called 7 Year Ache. You act like you were just born tonight, face down on a memory, but feeling alright. So who does your past belong to today? Baby, we don't say nothing when you're feeling this way. The guys in the bars thinking, who is this girl? But they don't think nothing when they're telling you lies. You look so careless when they're shooting that bull. Don't you know heartaches are heroes when their pockets are full? Tell me you're trying to cure a 7-year ache, and see what else your old heart can take. The girls say, when is she gonna give us some room? The guys say, God, I hope she comes back soon. Everybody's talking, but you don't hear a thing. You're still uptown on your downhill swing. Boulevard's empty, why don't you come around? Baby, what is so great about sleeping downtown? There's plenty of dives to be someone you're not, to say you're looking for something you might have forgot. Don't bother calling to say you're leaving alone, 'cause there's a fool on every corner when you're trying to get home. Just tell me you're trying to cure a 7-year ache, and see what else your old heart can take. The girls say, when is she gonna give us some room? The guys say, God, I hope she comes back soon. Tell me you're trying to cure a 7-year ache, and see what else your old heart can take. The girls say, when is she gonna give us some room? The guys say, God, I hope she comes back soon. thanks for tuning in. Linnea, great to see you this evening, and Mary Pat, thank you all. Next up is an up-tempo, probably one of the most up-tempo songs. It's a bit of a finger jumper for me. This is a Rosanne Cash song that was the second #1 hit off that 7-year Ache album. This song topped the charts in 1981 as well, and this one was written by a guy, so I felt fine changing the gender references in this song. This song is called My Baby Thinks She's a Train. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. The train whistle is blowing. It sounds like some lonesome song got in my soul, in my soul. My baby split the blanket, she won't be back no more. My baby thinks she's a train. She makes a whistle stop, then she's gone again. Sometimes it's hard on this poor boy's brain, this poor boy's brain. I'm telling you boys, my baby thinks she's a train. Locomotion is the way she moves. She drags me around just like an old caboose. I'm telling you boys, that girl's insane. My baby thinks she's a train. Choo-choo ain't just some train sound. It's the noise that you hear when my baby hits town with her long hair flying. Man, she's hard to tame. Well, what you supposed to do when your baby thinks she's a train? She eats money like a train eats coal. She burns it up and leaves you in the smoke. If you want to catch a ride, you wait till she unwinds. She might unwind. But she's just like a train. She always gives some bum a ride. Locomotion is the way she moves. She drags me around just like an old caboose. I'm telling you boys, that girl's insane. My baby thinks she's a train. My baby thinks she's a train. All right. That's probably definitely our quickest song tonight. Rosanne's third #1 hit was also off that second album entitled 7-Year Ache, and also in 1981. It's kind of a big year for her. This is another song she wrote. This one's called Blue Moon with Heartache. Complete change of pace here. Which is to say, we're going to slow it down. Blue moon out my window, I guess this means goodnight. And you come in and start right in, not treating me right. Well, misery's a ball and all its company. I'll play the victim for you, honey, but not for free. I run into that heartache just like a wall and act like nothing happened to me, nothing at all. And lately I'm amazed at how blind we can be. And lately even dreaming feels like old reality. What would I give to be a diamond in your eyes again? And what would I give to bring back those old times? And what did I say to make your cold heart bleed this way? Maybe I'll just go away today. I don't care who's waiting at my front door. You know that life don't hold no glamour anymore. Oh, how can it all look so right and feel so wrong? I'll play the victim for you, honey, but not for long. What would I give to be a diamond in your eyes again? What would I give to bring back those old times? And what did I say to make your cold heart bleed this way? Maybe I'll just go away today. Or maybe I'll just go away. Maybe I'll just go away. Maybe I'll just go away to stay. Maybe I'll just go away. Maybe I'll just go away. Maybe I'll just go away. Okay. Hey, Lori, thanks for tuning in tonight. All right, next up is Rosanne's fourth number one hit, this one from 1985. This is a song that she co-wrote with her then husband, Rodney Crowell. And in an odd twist of fate, Rosanne wrote this song in response to losing a Grammy Award to Juice Newton in 1983. But then Rosanne won her first Grammy with this song in 1986. This song is called I Don't Know Why You Don't Want Me. It's the right time, you know I feel fine tonight. I don't know why you don't want me. It's the right place, I got my new face tonight. And I don't know why you don't want me. I'm in the right mind, I showed up on time tonight. Well, I don't know why you don't want me. I wore my new suit and my new boots tonight. And I don't know why you don't want me. Somebody told you I was so cold and mean. Well, who was that talking? Somebody wants you, don't want me in between. Well, he better start walking, somebody hurt you, but baby, he wasn't me. We'll find a new name for such an old game tonight. I don't know why you don't want me. I'll show you how long that I can go on tonight. I don't know why you don't want me. I don't know why you don't want me. Just when I think that I can make it without you, you come around and say you want me now. You tell me don't leave and I want to believe you. Oh, why can't you see just how much I need you? Yeah, somebody told you I was so cold and mean. But who was that talking? Somebody wants you, don't want me in between. Well, he better start walking, somebody hurt you, but baby, he wasn't me. Well, it's the last chance for romance tonight. I don't know why you don't want me. There'll be no next time if you won't be mine tonight. I don't know why you don't want me. I don't know why you don't love me. I don't know why you don't want me. No, I don't know why you don't love me. Now, next up, another number one hit, this one from 1988. And in this case, it's a song that Rosanne released as a duet with her then husband, Rodney Crowell. But Rodney Crowell actually wrote this song. This one is called It's Such a Small World. Well, let's just hit the string. Shall we start right here? Okay. Fancy meeting you here tonight. It's such a small world. New York ain't my town. I don't come around but once in a while. This is such a surprise to see you. Girl, you're looking so good. It's been a long time since you crossed my mind. It's such a small world. Just one night on the town, I came looking around for something to do. Just a change of my plans on leaving, and I'll stay around, and I run into you, which just goes to prove it's such a small world. It's such a small world. I've lived alone for a while. It's such a small world. It feels like I've gone out of style. Where you and me will always be, just looking for something that's already happened. Years go by, but you and I Don't have to look beyond a day. Maybe just for tonight we can turn out the lights. Just lay your heart on the line, let go of your mind. And you know just what to say, and you know just what to do. You still look like the day when I first met you. I'll be gone once again come morning, like I've always done, but to see you tonight makes everything right. It's such a small world. Right here you stand as if it was planned. It's such a small world. All right, that song may or may not have picked up on it, but structurally that song is kind of all over the place. It doesn't follow a kind of a traditional chorus, verse. Just a very uniquely structured song. All right, next up. This is our last Rosanne Cash song for tonight. The song was her 9th #1 hit, also from 1988. This is also the only Rosanne Cash song that I'm doing that neither she nor her husband, Rodney Crowell, wrote. And this song is called Runaway Train. And who else do we have? Rose, welcome tonight. Glad you could join us. I'm worried about you. I'm worried about me. The curves around midnight aren't easy to see. Flashing red warnings, unseen in the rain. This thing has turned into a runaway train. Long distance phone calls, a voice on the line. Electrical miles that soften the time. The dynamite too is hooked on the wire, and so are the rails of American flyers. Blind, blind, blind boy. Huh, what do you know? Blind boy. Not sure why that one just completely escaped me there. There we go. Blind boys and gamblers, they invented the blues. We'll pay up in blood when this marker comes due. To try and get off now is about as insane as those who wave lanterns at runaway trains. Steel rails and hard lives are always in twos. I have been here before this, and now it's with you. I'm worried about you. I'm worried about me. We're lighting the fuses and counting to 3. What are the choices for those who remain? The sign of the cross on a runaway train. This thing has turned into a runaway train. Our love has turned into a runaway train. Blind boys and gamblers. I couldn't find that note. All right, now, unfortunate to mess up the last Rosanne Cash song. Next up, this is the first of 2 Roy Acuff songs that I'll be doing tonight. The second one will actually be tonight's gospel song, so it'll come a little later. We probably could not get any further removed from the 1980s artistry of Rosanne Cash to, in the case of this first song, a 1930s Roy Acuff song. Roy signed on to be a regular performer on the Grand Ole Opry in 1938 and performed this next song, which ultimately became his signature song. And he was such a star and a major fixture in country music by the late 40s and early 50s that no less than Hank Williams, legend that he was quoted in 1952 as saying, quote, "Roy's the biggest singer this music ever knew. You booked him and you didn't worry about crowds. For drawing power in the South, it was Roy Acuff, then God." End quote. Roy remained a fixture in the Grand Ole Opry for decades, but he had his biggest moment the night the Grand Ole Opry actually moved from the Ryman Auditorium in downtown Nashville to the Grand Ole Opry House out in Opryland Park, which is kind of a nearby suburb. That inaugural show at the new venue opened with a huge projection of a late 1930s image of Roy Acuff and his band on a large screen above the stage. And then a recording from one of his band's 1939 appearances was played over the sound system with the voice of Grand Ole Opry founder George Hay introducing Roy and his band, followed by Roy's performance of this song. The signature song is called The Wabash Cannonball. From the great Atlantic Ocean to the wide Pacific shore, from the green New Hampshire mountains to the South Carolina's Cajun lore, she's mighty tall and handsome and known quite well by all. She's a combination on the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble, and the roar as she glides along the woodlands, through the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of her engine, hear that lonesome hobo's call. You're traveling through the jungles on the Wabash Cannonball. Your eastern states are dandy, so the people always say. From New York to St. Louis and Chicago by the way. Through the hills of Minnesota where the rippling waters fall, no changes can be taken on the Wabash Cannonball. Well, listen to the jingle, the rumble, and the roar as she glides along the woodlands, through the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of her engine, hear that lonesome hobo's call. You're traveling through the jungles on the Wabash Cannonball. She pulled into the station one cold December day. As she rolled up to the station, you could hear all the people say, "There's a girl from Tennessee, she's long and she's tall. She came down from Birmingham on the Wabash Cannonball." Well, listen to the jingle, the rumble, and the roar as she glides along the woodlands, through the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of her engine, hear that lonesome hobo's call. You're traveling through the jungles on the Wabash Cannonball. Well, here's to Daddy Claxton, may his name forever stand and always be remembered around the courts of Alabama. His earthly race is over and the curtains round him fall. We'll carry him to victory on the Wabash Cannonball. Well, listen to the jingle, the rumble, and the roar as she glides along the woodlands, through the hills and by the shore. Hear the mighty rush of her engine, hear that lonesome hobo's call. You're traveling through the jungles on the Wabash Cannonball. Yeah, you're traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. All right. Hey, Mary Beth, thanks for tuning in. Jennifer, Trigger actually was the horse for Roy Rogers, and Roy Rogers is not who we're doing yet because Rogers comes after Acuff and Drusky and Clark, and so I think Roy Rogers will be next week. I'm positive Roy Rogers will be next week. No Trigger tonight. All right. So despite all of Roy's popularity, he really didn't have very many big hits on the charts, and so we're actually going to jump right now into Roy Clark's hits. Roy Clark began his career primarily as a musician, growing up in a musical family. Roy played guitar, banjo, and fiddle, pretty much all three of them masterfully. And he made his Grand Ole Opry debut as a musician at the age of 17 in 1950. He's probably best known as being the co-host with Buck Owens of the TV show Hee Haw, which ran for 28 years, from 1969 to 1997. And he also frequently guest hosted for Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show. Our first Roy Clark song was his first top 10 hit, when this song reached number 9 in the charts, 1969, which was the same year that he started Hee Haw. Roy sang this song on The Muppet Show in 1978, and he honored a request from Mickey Mantle and sang this at the former New York Yankees player's funeral in 1995. This song is called Yesterday When I Was Young. Jennifer, there's a lot of Roys in country music, just like there's a lot of Hanks in country music. They're two of the most popular names in country music. First names, anyway. Seems the love I've known has always been the most destructive kind. I guess that's why now I feel so old before my time. Yesterday, when I was young, the taste of life was sweet as rain upon my tongue. I teased at life as if it were a foolish game, the way the evening breeze may tease a candle flame. The thousand dreams I dreamed, the splendid things I planned, I always built to last on weak and shifting sand. I lived by night and shunned the naked light of day, and only now I see how the years ran away. Yesterday, when I was young, so many happy songs were waiting to be sung. So many wild pleasures lay in store for me, and so much pain my dazzled eyes refused to see. I ran so fast that time and youth at last ran out, I never stopped to think what life was all about, and every conversation I can now recall concerned itself with me and nothing else at all. Yesterday the moon was blue, and every crazy day brought something new to do. I used my magic age as if it were a wand, and never saw the waste and emptiness beyond. The game of love I played with arrogance and pride, and every flame I lit too quickly died. The friends I made all seemed somehow to drift away, and only I am left on stage to end the play. There are so many songs in me that won't be sung. I feel the bitter taste of tears upon my tongue. The time has come for me to pay for yesterday, when I was young. All right, now, next up was Roy Clark's first top 5 hit. This song reached number 5 in 1970, the very next year. It was the title track to his album. And so the song and the album are both called I Never Picked Cotton. Well, I never picked cotton like my mother did, and my brother did, and my sister did, and my daddy died young, working in a coal mine. When I was just a baby, too little for a cotton sack, I played in the dirt while the others worked till they couldn't straighten up their backs. And I made myself a promise when I was old enough to run that I'd never stay a single day in that Oklahoma sun. And I never picked cotton like my mother did, and my brother did, and my sister did, and my daddy died young, working in a coal mine. Folks said that I grew up early and the farm couldn't hold me then, so I stole $10 and a pickup truck, and I never went back again. It was fast cars and whiskey, long-legged girls and fun. I had everything that money could bring, and I took it all with a gun. But I never picked cotton like my mother did, and my brother did, and my sister did, and my daddy died young, working in a coal mine. It was Saturday night in Memphis when a redneck grabbed my shirt. He said, "Go on back to your cotton sack. I left him dying in the dirt, and they'll take me in the morning to the gallows just outside. And in the time I've got, there ain't a hell of a lot that I can look back on with pride. But I never picked cotton like my mother did, and my brother did, and my sister did, and I'll never die young, working in a coal mine. No, I never picked cotton like my mother did, and my brother did, and my sister did, and I'll never die young, working in a coal mine, working in a coal mine, working in a coal mine. All right, now next up, second song Roy released from that I Never Picked Cotton album, and this one went to number 6 on the charts for him, also 1970. The song is sung in the first-person narrative from the point of view of a man lamenting about a woman with whom he is involved in what has become a toxic relationship, which is somewhat of an elegant way to say it's a little, I don't know, snarky? I don't know if that's the right word here, but you'll get what I mean. This is called Thank God and Greyhound. I made a small fortune, and you squandered it all. You shamed me till I feel about 1 inch tall. But I thought that I loved you, and I hoped you would change. So I gritted my teeth, and I didn't complain. Now you come to me with a simple goodbye. You tell me you're leaving, but you don't tell me why. Now we're here at the station, and you're getting on, and all I can think of is, thank God and Greyhound, you're gone. Thank God and Greyhound, you're gone. I don't know how much longer I could go on, watching you take the respect out of me, watching you make a total wreck out of me. That big diesel motor is a-playing my song. Thank God and Greyhound, you're gone. Oh, thank God and Greyhound, you're gone. The load on my mind got lighter when you got on. That shiny old bus is a beautiful sight, with a black smoke rolling up around the tail lights. It may sound kind of cruel, but I've been silent too long. Thank God and Greyhound, you're gone. Thank God and Greyhound, you're gone. Yes, Diane, I might have said snarky. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's really even the right use of the term. There's just something tongue-in-cheek about that song. Okay, we've reached the portion of the show where I do one of our original songs, and that my friend Charlie and I wrote together. This is the most recent one we've written, which sadly still is probably now maybe almost 2 years old already. It's been a while. So this one's called MALSV, which is like for movie ratings, TV ratings, mature audiences, so on. That's the inspiration here. Baby, I'm MALSV, for a mature audience only. L is for language, and S is for sex, and V because I'm the very best. With lots of love and action to meet your satisfaction. The drama and suspense, well, it may be too intense, but if you like what you see and you love a good mystery, let me take you on a journey, 'cause baby, I'm MALSV. From way across the bar, I can see it in your eyes, that look of desire that you can't disguise. But there's just one thing, honey, before we go. There's one thing about me I guess you ought to know. Oh, baby, I'm MALSV, for a mature audience only. L is for language, and S is for sex, and V because I'm the very best. With lots of love and action to meet your satisfaction. The drama and suspense, well, it may be too intense, but if you like what you see and you love a good mystery, let me take you on a journey, 'cause baby, I'm MALSV. Darling, don't be scared off by some bad reviews. You should find out for yourself if what they say is true. You may not like my story, the plot might make you mad, but darling, I just might be the best you ever had. Oh baby, I'm MALSV, for a mature audience only. L is for language, and S is for sex, and V because I'm the very best. With lots of love and action to meet your satisfaction. The drama and suspense, well, it may be too intense, but if you like what you see and you love a good mystery, let me take you on a journey, 'cause baby, I'm MALSV. Yeah, baby, I'm MALSV, for a mature audience only. L is for language, and S is for sex, and V because I'm the very best. Yeah, baby, I'm the very best. That's why I'm rated MALSV. Okay, so I really can't even believe that it's already 7:48. That's supposed to be halfway through the show. Needless to say, we're not going to finish everything that I had planned for tonight, which is fine. It'll just roll into next week. All right, we go back to Roy Clark. This is Roy Clark's only number one hit. This song hit number one in 1973. And this was written by Felice and Boudleaux Bryant, who had written so many of the Everly Brothers hits, as well as many other hits for other artists. But this love song is called Come Live With Me. Come live with me and be my love. Share my bread and wine. Be wife to me, be life to me, be mine. Come live with me and be my love. Let our dreams combine. Be mate to me, be fate to me, be mine. With these hands I'll build a roof to shield your head. And with these hands I'll carve the wood for a baby bed. Come live with me and be my love. Share my bread and wine. Be part of me, be the heart of me, be mine. I'll try to do my best for you, I promise you. laugh with you, and I'll cry with you my whole life through. Come live with me and be my love, share my bread and wine, be part of me, be the heart of me, be mine. All right, now, Roy released this next song that same year, 1973. This song rose to number 2 on the charts for him that year, and this one is called Somewhere Between Love and Tomorrow. We go from a love song to a breakup song. Typical country library. You gave your love completely and warmed my life so cold, but she still lives between us, and our stories be told. Today she thinks I love her, but tomorrow we'll be through, and somewhere between love and tomorrow she'll have to know about you. We vowed to love forever and never be untrue, but time can change and rearrange your world from dreams to truth. Then you came to love me and made the sun shine through, and somewhere between love and tomorrow she'll have to know about you. It's sad for love to die now, after all the love we knew, but somewhere between love and tomorrow I fell in love with you. Okay, now, next up, let's see. We have 2 more Roy Clark songs. That's what we'll get through. We won't get to Roy Dresky tonight. He will be next week, along with Roy Rogers, Jennifer, and Trigger, I guess. All right. Anyway, next up, Roy's next hit reached number 4 on the charts, 1974. This one's called Honeymoon Feeling. Back to a love song. I still get that honeymoon feeling after all these years. My heart goes a-reeling every time you touch me. It's still the living end. And I still get that honeymoon feeling. Oh, I can still hear those wedding bells ringing Every time we love, I get that honeymoon feeling again. It seems like only yesterday you walked into my life and answered all my prayers and made my dreams come true. And even though it's been some time since I made you my wife, well, every day I find I'm even more in love with you. And I still get that honeymoon feeling after all these years. My heart goes a-reeling. Every time you touch me, it's still the living end. And I still get that honeymoon feeling. Oh, I can still hear those wedding bells a-ringing. Every time we love, I get that honeymoon feeling again. I'm thankful that I wake up with an angel by my side. You make my world a better place to be. And though we're far from a newlyweds, you're still my blushing bride. But most of all, I'm glad you show just how much you need me. Oh, I still get that honeymoon feeling after all these years. My heart goes a-reeling. Every time you touch me, it's still the living end. And I still get that honeymoon feeling, and I can still hear those wedding bells ringing. Every time we love, I get that honeymoon feeling again. Yeah, I still get that honeymoon feeling after all these years. My heart goes a-reeling. Every time you touch me, it's still the living end. And I still get that honeymoon feeling. Oh, I can still hear those wedding bells ringing. Every time we love, I get that honeymoon feeling again. Yeah, every time we love, I get that honeymoon feeling again. All right, our last Roy Clark song for tonight was his last top 5 hit when this song reached all the way to number 2 in the charts, 1976. This love song, I guess, for a mature audience, a mature relationship, is called If I Had to Do It All Over Again. We're not as young as we used to be. Baby, I don't mind, 'cause growing old with you is gonna be full of life and good times. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it with you. I wouldn't want to miss a thing that we've been through. Baby, nothing can compare with the good love that we've shared. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it with you. Looking back on life, I can't complain. It ain't been easy, but don't you know, we still had sunshine even when it rained. And we've shared a love that few have known. miss a thing that we've been through. Baby, nothing can compare with the good love that we've shared. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it with you. Yeah, if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it with you. And I wouldn't want to miss a thing that we've been through. Baby, nothing can compare with the good love that we've shared. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it with you. Yeah, if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it with you. All right, so we will cover 3 of Roy Drusky's songs next week. So tonight's gospel song was the first song that Roy Acuff ever released. The song is a hymn from the southern United States whose lyrics were written by Reverend Guy Smith and transcribed by a singer named Charlie Swain. The lyrics are based on Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9, quote, "Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour." Which is, I don't know, a piece of scripture that I'm not scholarly enough to really fully understand, I guess. But anyway, although the lyrics are based on scripture of this song, the melody has to be one of the most copied melodies in country music. The melody was originally written back in 1925 for a song called "Thrills That I Can't Forget." Then it was used again by the Carter family in 1929 for their song called "I'm Thinking Tonight of My Blue Eyes." And then it was used again by Charlie Swain for this hymn in 1936. And then again in 1952 for the Hank Thompson song, "The Wild Side of Life." And finally, again, later in 1952, for Kitty Wells' even more popular answer song called "It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels." The connection between the last 4 of these songs is noted as the last verse in the long David Allan Coe song from 1977 entitled "If That Ain't Country." The last verse of that song ends with the lyrics, quote, "I'm thinking tonight of my blue eyes concerning a great speckled bird. I didn't know God made honky-tonk angels and went back to the wild side of life." This is the great speckled bird. What a beautiful thought I am thinking concerning the great speckled bird, and to know that my name is recorded on the pages of God's holy word. Desiring to lower her standard, they watch every move that she makes. They long to find fault with her teachings, but really she makes no mistake. I am glad I have learned for her meekness. I am glad that my name is on her book, for I want to be one never fearing the face of my Savior to look. And when he cometh descending from heaven on a cloud like he said in his word, I'll be joyfully carried to meet him on the wings of the great speckled bird, on the wings of the great speckled bird. It's not uncommon for the melody of a hymn to be used for a popular song, less common for a popular melody to be used for a hymn. All right. That wraps us up for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. May the good Lord bless and keep you, whether near or far away. May you find that long-awaited golden day today. May your troubles all be small ones, and your fortune 10 times 10. May the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet again. May you walk with sunlight shining and a bluebird in every tree. May there be a silver lining back of every cloud you see. Fill your dreams with sweet tomorrows, never mind what might have been. May the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet again. May you walk with sunlight shining and a bluebird in every tree. May there be a silver lining back of every cloud you see. Fill your dreams with sweet tomorrows, never mind what might have been. May the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet again. May the good Lord bless and keep you till we meet again. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Next week we will pick up with Roy Drusky and then Roy Rogers, and then we will move out of the R's into the S's. And as it turns out, I mentioned when we got to the halfway point that there wasn't as much of the back half of the elephant. There wasn't as much in the back half of the alphabet. So there are songs, artists in the S's and the T's, but there are no artists that I have in the U's. There are artists in the V's and W's, but no artists in X, Y, or Z. So we have S's and T's to cover, and V's and W's to cover, and then we will be at the end. So next Sunday, we will wrap up the R's with Roy Drusky and Roy Rogers and move on from there. So thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you next Sunday at 7 o'clock, which, by the way, for anyone keeping track, next Sunday will be our 104th consecutive show. That means it's our 2-year milestone since we started this whole venture. So have a great evening. Thanks for tuning in. Good night, everybody.